Hi guys, it's Thomas here from COTBase.com. Welcome to a weekly COT review. Today we're going to be analyzing the 14th Commitments of Traders report of 2025. And as we always do in these weekly reviews, we're going to start off by looking at the largest changes in commercials net position. So we're of course analyzing the Commitments of Traders report, the classic. It breaks down open interest into three main trader categories. We've got commercials. We've got large speculators. These two have to report to CFTC. And then we have small speculators. We call them small speculators, but they are called non-reportables at CFTC because they do not trade in large volumes. So they tend to correlate with large speculators. And the reason we look at large changes in commercials net position is that we believe commercials, who are of course producers or users of that commodity, have the most knowledge of the market. We are analyzing futures and options data combined. So let's get to it. We have coffee on top of our list with a 23% change in commercials net position. So you can see commercials, they're charted with the red color. Over here, if I take down large speculators, it becomes a little bit more clear. You can measure just by eyeballing it how big of a change this was. It's definitely greater than average, although we have seen greater changes in the past. You can see one over here. The report date is roughly at the bottom. You can see there was a rise afterwards. Maybe not the best timing of the issuance of the report, because as you can see, the report date and the issuance date, there's a bit of a lag over there. So it takes a few days for CFTC to compile the data. But this current reading is a bullish change signal suggesting some strengthening. Now, the interesting thing is if we move to a 5-year chart, what you can actually see is that we are closer to bearish COT Extreme levels. We're moving away from those levels as the market is coming down a bit. So in the short term, we may see a bit of a rise in coffee, but in the medium to long term, I think this bearish COT Extreme reading has a more significant role in determining what the market is going to do. So I believe coffee, based on the report, in the medium to long term, meaning a couple of weeks, month, will eventually start coming down or continue its downward trajectory that's been going on since February, I'd say. Moving to our next market, soybean oil, we have a 22% change over here in commercials net positions. This is a bearish COT change signal suggesting weakness coming in the next few days. It is coming after a decent rally that's been going on in soybean oil. Moving to a 5-year chart, you can see that we are still a bit closer to bullish territory, but overall nothing huge in either direction. But I mean, it definitely, like, overall, if we had to say something, then of course the bullish COT Extreme reading from last week, I would say, is still in effect, and we are seeing the market rising from here. I would assume this would continue on, regardless of the bearish COT change signal that of course can cool down the market for a few days, but I would imagine this would continue on the rally that we are witnessing. Crude oil, Brent crude oil here with a 20% change in commercials net positions. This is a bearish change signal, not the largest, a bit larger than average, suggesting this decline will continue. Moving to a 5-year chart, we have a bearish COT Extreme as well. So both of our signals are pointing downwards. Moving on to large speculator COT Extreme analysis, we have soybean meal, so another soybean market, with an all-time COT Extreme. So that means never in the history of COT data, we're talking futures and options data combined, have we ever seen such a reading in large speculators net positions, but commercials are at an extreme as well. This suggests we should expect the market to rise. Now I'm going to stop here for a second and just move over and just want to show you briefly This is our own unique indicator, the iCOT Intraday Indicator that has a scores portion. So these are the scores lines. It's like the COT index. We reverse engineered COT analysis to bring you this wonderful tool into the shorter time frames. This is a 4-hour candlestick chart, and it very well supplements COT data. If you want to read more about it, we do have the indicators page where you can find a bunch of nice examples, but I'll try to briefly explain. So as in the case of classic COT analysis, we can call the red line commercials. And when they're at a bullish COT extreme, that's usually a great signal. We have these green vertical lines. We call them stripe signals. These are bullish stress levels in the market. And then we have the bearish stripes, the red lines. These are actually the strongest signals when we have an extreme, not only in one of them, commercials or large speculators, but in both. I should point out this is not COT data. It is our own unique data. It's not from CFTC, but it's derived from multiple data sets, price, volume, and it's a very, very complex indicator. When large speculators are at an extreme, what you see, for instance, just at this top, the candlestick changes its color to blue. When there's an extreme in commercials, you can see these yellow diamonds underneath the candle. That's a bullish extreme. When it's above the candle, it's a bearish extreme. It's a very, very good tool to supplement classic COT analysis. And of course, you can go deeper in time down to the 1-minute candlesticks if that's what you're looking for. So yeah, that's an interesting tool to use. Moving on to our next market. I'm so sorry, back to large speculators. COT Extreme Analysis, we've got wheat with a 374 report extreme, not only in large speculators, but that's the exact same extreme in commercials. And of course, this is well, you can look at the chart. It's very clear that it is a bullish COT extreme signal, suggesting we should see rise in the price of wheat. We are, of course, talking about the Chicago wheat. We've got other wheats as well. We talked about crude oil. Wheat complex, we basically combine all the different wheat markets into one unique data. So I'm going to close off with coffee, where we have a 52 report extreme. It is. Oh, actually, we talked about coffee. My apologies over there. Let's look at corn. Let's look at corn as our last market, although it's 16 report extreme. So. Really, if you look at the chart, it's not an extreme we would act upon, really. If you want to do something with corn, there's no real signal from the classic commitments of traders data, then you might want to switch over to iCOT Intraday Indicators and take it from there. It is a really, really great tool. You can read a lot about it here. And by the way, if you have any questions, feel free to comment underneath the video or send us an email to info@cotbase.com. And lastly, if I can ask you this favor, if you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button and consider subscribing to our YouTube channel if you have not yet subscribed, so you can be notified if there's another video coming out. I tend to do these on a weekly basis. Thank you for your attention. I wish you guys a wonderful weekend. Let's see each other next time.